And yes, there we are again. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Simon and Newport.
And Newport. And all over. People all over the world.
Yes.
They're all listening in. Welcome back to the Newport-on-TayTV podcast. We're back. And what have we got coming up, Mark? What's it called today?
Oh, it's the Big Rock Special.
It's the Big Rock Special. It is.
That was my guess.
We've got it written on a big bit of paper.
Oh yeah, huge big bit of paper. Right, it says A2.
Is that what that is?
Could
A2
be.
paper.
Yeah,
So, ladies and gentlemen, in the Newport-on-Tay recording studios, broadcasting house, we're going a bit back scene. We've got the Big Rock episode written on a big piece of paper.
It's like a mind map.
Ideas
and
it's
scripts.
giving us It's not. It's like a script, but not a script, isn't it? So we're going to pick things up. But the Big Rock is what we're celebrating. All things Big Rock. We're going to talk about the Big Rock. We're going to sing about the Big Rock. We're going to read letters out about the Big Rock. Mark, loads of people have written in.
Yeah.
And we've got some great stories. So we're going to read all of them out.
Printed out.
Oh, we've printed them out. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting more professional by the minute, which might actually not be a good thing, so we better watch. But anyway, here we go. We're speaking Big Rock today. So the Big Rock, but first of all, what a fantastic festival we had.
It was good, wasn't it?
Well,
And the sun was out.
And the sun was out, as always, actually, with the Newport Festival.
Yeah, past few years, definitely.
And did you have a highlight, Mark?
Did I have a highlight? Singing about cheese.
Singing about cheese. That was also my highlight. Well, actually, my highlight was...
It shouldn't be me, my highlight is to be something else.
But it can be. But Mark wrote a song about cheese and sang in Fig and Fromage, so that was good. But I think my highlight... Well, actually, first of all, the parade.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
Mark, 299 people were on the parade, which was amazing. So if you were on it, well done to you. The pictures of the Rio was good, and the scarecrows were fantastic.
Oh, they were great, yeah.
They were great. But my highlight, Mark, was watching you.
You're too kind.
It was, but and then joining in with you as you bade Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were in Fig and Fromage, we all sang Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, but we were ba 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 ba.
It's like panpipes. Bar pipes.
Well, bar pipes. It was brilliant, Mark. Anyway, so we loved that. Hopefully you managed to see that, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully you enjoyed the festival. But big thanks to everybody who came, everybody who was involved in it, and we look forward to next year's. It's going to be bigger and better.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're not going to tell you about it in this podcast, but in future podcasts we might give you some exclusive details about next year's festival. But that's next year's festival. Today is the Big Rock, the phenomenon that sits on the shores of Newport-on-Tay. We used to hang around there when we were younger, Mark.
Yeah.
What, have you got any particular memories of it?
Particular memories. Jumping off, I was like jumping off the Big Rock.
Yeah.
It was like a rite of passage. You got to jump off the Big Rock. And some people used to jump off the top tier. It's like the lower bit, and there's a higher bit, and I remember older guys going woohoo and jumping off.
I hate when
you remember
guys
Andy Brown
used to show
doing
up.
it.
Andy Brown?
Yeah, Bruno's dad.
Really?
I think so, yeah, in my memory. I was quite young.
Andy Brown off the Big Rock.
Yeah.
Well, we have more tales of the Big Rock coming up there. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. We've done a video about the Big Rock. We'll link that in because we did do a documentary. Yeah. So if you want to watch that,
a rockumentary,
indeed. And I love. Now, maybe if you're having your dinner, maybe just finish your dinner before you listen to the next bit. But I remember being down the Big Rock when we were younger, and you used to get like, shall we say, sanitary products and condoms all over it. Yeah. It was horrible, and we used to kind of have competitions to see who could find the most. Thankfully, those days are finished, okay? So I don't know, they seem to have dirty water down south, but we seem to be all right. So there's none of that going on anymore. Okay, hopefully, if you're back from your tea, you can rewind that a bit later. So we're going to do that. And actually, we must say, at the end of this, we're going to sing a Big Rock Jamboree sing-along.
Yes.
And we want you to join in, okay? So don't skip forward or anything. Wait till the end, and you're going to have a great time. But the Big Rock. I mean, it's basically. Obviously, nobody remembers when the Big Rock arrived in Newport. It's just been there. Yeah, it's just been there all the time. Before any person set foot on the shores of Newport, the Big Rock was already there. It's this, the original resident. It's the heart of Newport. I would say it's the heart of Newport. I mean, everybody knows what it is. And anytime any friend comes to see me who's not been to Newport, first stop, Big Rock. Yeah. And I have to say, sometimes they go, oh, is that it? Oh, yeah, is it, actually? Thank you very much. And I think before the days of electricity, it was like an unofficial lighthouse, making sure that none of the early ships crashed into the shore in Newport. Right. Well, we think that. No evidence, but anyway, we're going to go with
I believe you.
Yeah, and it sort of wards off, I feel like wards off evil spirits and keeps Newport calm, collected, and just a great place, a place to be. Yeah, as we keep saying. It is that phenomenon, and we're gonna read out some letters shortly. And what we've done, I think, quite cleverly, Mark, is mixed people's experiences into the last song that we're going to sing today. So if you're listening to that song, we're not going to mention people's names in the songs, but
incorporate the stories.
Yes, we're going to incorporate the stories that we read out into the final song that we do. So we're looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway.
Me too.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. And also we're going to do a wee appeal. Now, we've had a little look, and the Big Rock is currently on TripAdvisor number 192 in places to visit in Fife. Now, we've had it up to in the top 100 before, so we're going to link the TripAdvisor on the Facebook page, and if you want to give it a wee like or a wee review, let's try and get the Big Rock to be the most popular tourist attraction in Fife. What do you think?
That's a great idea. You can add some of the story. You can add your story to it.
You can add your story to it. Have you reviewed it yet, Mark?
No.
Well, you
I could do that
after this. We'll get cracking.
Straight home.
Straight home and review the Big Rock.
Spectrum.
So we'll put a link up. Let's see if we can get the Big Rock up from the 192 to number 1. It would be
if
good.
number 180 would be good.
Well,
180.
We're going to be keeping an eye on it. So we're going to do the progress, on the thing.
Progress report.
A progress report on it. You'll hear that. You can look at it on the page. And we're going to give out the details now, because we didn't really do it very much last time. Newport-on-TayTV@gmail.com. You can email us there. You can also go to the Facebook page, Newport-on-Tay News. You can message us there. You can go to Twitter and find Newport-on-Tay, and you can do a pick a day on Instagram. Okay, so they're all there. Actually, we're on TikTok as well, if you're on that. But you can look at it on TikTok as well. Newport-on-Tay TikTok page. All the pages. Yeah, but some people are like, blimey, do you want to give it a rest? No, we're all over the place. So do that. So and I think that's so the Big Rock. Now we're going to hear now about some people's experiences of the Big Rock.
Yes.
So shall I start, Mark?
I think you should.
No, we've got one here from John Stewart Leslie, and he says a summer swim from the old pier to the Big Rock and back was a highlight of many a summer in the 1960s. It started at high tide with a leap off the old air raid shelter roof. I don't remember that, but into the Tay. Memories, he says. So that's John Stewart Leslie.
So I was trying to remember, it would have been mid-70s we used to swim.
From to the pier?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
No, I was too young.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know. I mean, I never did it, but I couldn't do it now either. I did a boat.
With a swimming app sitting in a boat.
Yeah, and just pretend I swam or something. Yeah, maybe
just sitting in your trunks in a boat.
Yeah, I don't know about my trunks. Nobody wants to see me in trunks, I don't think. Maybe some long shorts or something. But if you've got a boat and you fancy bringing us a trip from the Rock to the pier, that would be great. Davey. No, you're listening, Davey. Yeah, you can do that. And then, so that was John Stewart Leslie, and so thank you, John, for emailing us there. And Stephen Lowe, we know him, don't we? He's put down, rescued from it by boat. Yeah, on a very high tide by the guy who ran the Tay Estuary Research Centre, now David Anderson Marine, with Grant Campbell with me. And he's put down here, probably alcohol involved.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. And I think this is a good time, I think, Mark, just to pause from all the frivolities. Go down the Big Rock, climb the Big Rock, have fun on the Big Rock, but most of all, be safe.
Be safe.
Be safe on the big rock. You know, in the summertime when it's dry, you know, it's not a difficult climb, but in inclement weather, you know, it's the danger.
Weather changes.
Yeah. He obviously changed when Stephen was on. He was probably drinking, like you said, but and he had to get rescued. So it does have its dangers.
It does.
And I think another couple of people mentioned that. Mark, what have you got there?
Oh yeah, Paul Stewart wrote.
Hi, Paul.
Hello, Paul. I fell in the water at the Big Rock when I was 8 years old. Had to be hauled out by Angus Borland, who was alerted to the situation by Sister Dorothy. Mary Borland had to give me CPR, mouth to mouth, as I was dragged out the water being face down.
Oh.
Oops. Still remember the incident to this day. It involved a duck quacker. Don't ask.
Oh. Paul, well, I'm glad you're still here, Paul, that's for sure. And Mary Borland gave him CPR.
Yeah.
At the Big Rock. Mm-hmm. God, that must have been a sight.
I know.
But the duck quacker, I have messaged him and said, well, you can't leave it at that. You have to tell us
that's
the
saying
duck
don't
quacker.
ask is saying ask.
Yeah, ask. Yeah. Paul, you need to tell us about the duck quacker. I'm guessing, I'm just imagining Mary Borland's giving him CPR and he's got a duck quacker. Maybe that's what it was. But again, safety first. You don't want to
mouth to mouth, it goes beak to beak.
Beak to beak. He would beak to beak, Paul. Thanks very much, Paul, for letting us in. We've got loads, by the way. You know, the letters are streaming in nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. Newport-on-TayTV at gmail.com. Hope has written down here, this was our adventure playground. We clambered on it, over it, and also, again, this is good, learnt about tides. And she's put down here, we never swam anywhere near the back of it because the tides can be quite strong there.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
I remember that as well.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, you have to be careful. Somebody messaged a wee while ago saying they'd seen jellyfish there and got bitten by one.
Oh, right.
I haven't seen, but you said you have seen.
I've seen loads of jellyfish here,
Yeah. I don't know what. Maybe jellyfish are frightened of me. I've never seen. Mind you, I don't go.
That's the only explanation.
I only have tentative walks up it. I don't go diving off it or anything like that.
Tentacled walks.
But tentacled walks. But so there was fun. But this was the days when family would picnic on the braes at the height of summer.
Oh,
so
I remember being lots of picnics.
Yeah, and that was Dot. So Dot, thank you very much for that, and I'm glad you had a lot of fun on the Big Rock. Mark, have you got another one there?
Yes, there's a few here. So there's one from David Laurie. It says, my mum learned to swim there in the 1950s.
Oh, nice.
I reckon they taught you to swim well in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Also, here's one from Fiona Hogg. I used to love coming I used to love coming from Dundee to visit my grandparents, auntie and cousin, and going to the braes. Highlight, of course, being climbing on the Big Rock. So easily amused. This would have been the mid-80s, and of course the family moved to the bright side and never looked back, not long after.
Well, there we are, yes, and Fiona is indeed in Newport now, so the Big Rock, obviously, they couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Obviously came across, so thank you, Fiona, for that. And we did have a short one here, actually, because I haven't written it down. So Ashley Brand has written in to say, many a teenage drunk angst down there, so not appropriate for the podcast.
No.
Oh.
I'm sure
actually, it's not a children's podcast. We can talk about anything, but good, within reason. We like to keep it clean, I suppose. But maybe we'll do a late night thing, Ashley. And we can read out your tawdry tales, whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but anyway, I'm dying to find out. I've got one here, David Robertson. Also, I think is that the last one you've got, Mark?
I've got one more from Ian Jameson.
Oh, we're going to save that. We'll save that. I'll read out this one. So David Robertson went fishing off the Big Rock a few times. Plenty of flatties in the mud. Bigger fish were attracted to the sewage outlet just down from the rock. Amazing what you could do back in the day before all that processed food waste. So, there you go. Fishing off the Big Rock.
I remember Robbo and Andy McLaughlin both fishing down there.
Yeah. Did they catch anything?
Yeah, I can remember. I'm sure he had an old milk carton with a fish sticking out of it. It was an empty milk carton that had the top cut off.
Right. I said, well, and who was that?
It's either Robbo or Andy.
Right,
I can't remember how the fish in a milk carton, but for some reason that sticks in my head because you don't see that every day.
Well, neither of them have written it. So Robbo, Andy, if you were fishing down there, let us know the experience so we can add it in to the next podcast. But now, And again, all these little stories that people have told us, Mark, we're going to incorporate them in our Big Rock Jamboree at the end, aren't
definitely.
we? I can't wait for that. So there you go, and I think that's as. But yeah, what's the last one you've got?
So the last one from Ian Jameson is, it just says, Big Rock, Small Rock, Cardboard Box.
Oh.
Bit of a chant going on there.
Yeah,
Big
that's a
Rock,
nice
Small
one.
Rock,
And
Cardboard Box.
that's from Ian.
Ian Jameson.
Well, thank you, Ian. I met Ian a couple of times because he was back for a reason in Newport, and we've read out his name before, but he didn't pick up a pencil. No, and I tried to get him to take a pencil, but he said, "Oh no, a mention's enough." So
It's too much.
But it's maybe just maybe a pencil's just too much for some people.
Yeah.
Well, it is for him. So he's not got it. So there you go. That's people who have written in about their memories of the Big Rock. So that's absolutely fantastic. So we're going to coming up. We have a little tale, Mark.
Okay.
Now it's from the Newport-on-Tay Hidden History book, and would you believe that? And this has never been told. Robert Burns came to Newport and tried to write a poem about the Big Rock, but he got writer's block.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, but he did write one line, and we will exclusively reveal that
Brilliant.
as part of the story as it comes up. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any more memories of the Big Rock, do write in and try and get, because I must say, after we did Famous People, after we put that out, I got a lot more letters about famous people in Newport. Yeah, so like lots of people have bumped into Robbie Coltrane, and lots of people have bumped in. So get the letters in before we do the podcast, and then we can read them all out. But we might do a bit of a mop-up on the next podcast with that. Not a mop-up, okay? but just kidding. But there we are. You're listening to the Newport-on-Tay podcast, officially the most widely listened to podcast about Newport-on-Tay in the world.
Whoa!
Yes,
True.
It's official, absolutely official, and so stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for all your emails and you're getting in touch and all the rest of it. It's absolutely fantastic. Newport-on-TayTV@gmail.com is the email if you want to write in, or comment on the Facebook page. And we're also check the Facebook page because we've got some pictures of people on the rock. And we've got a lovely picture from the 60s and I think one from the sort of 80s as well. So do tune in and have a look at them, okay? Because we've got them on the website. All right, now, first of all, we're going to have a wee song, aren't we?
Oh yes.
About the Big Rock.
About the Big Rock.
What's it called, Mark? What's it called?
Oh,
we
the Big
organised
Rock,
enough.
and the Big Rock down in Newport, that one.
That's the one.
Yes.
The Big Rock down in Newport. So do hang around because we're going to do that right now, and then we'll have a little interview with the Big Rock guys because a festival is coming up, and we're going to talk about that after we've sang that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right. Let's have a song, Mark. One evening as the sun went down where the dog walkers go walking, was sitting on the Big Rock just as the tide was turning, watching all the gulls floating down the Tay with the sunset on the fountain. So come join me as we go and see the Big Rock down in Newport. In the Big Rock down in Newport, where it's kissed by the River Tay, where the sun is always shining and it's shining every day. The heron's always fishing and the rabbits come out at night. What a sight to see looking out at Dundee by the silvery Tay and the rolling braes on the Big Rock down in Newport. Here we go! The Big Rock down in Newport. Yes! Well, Mark, that was a fantastic song. I love that song.
Yes.
You like that song?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you were singing along. And we're going to now, actually, I must say, we didn't mention at the beginning, we do have a big interview coming up, and we're going to have a wee listen to it now. And as it's all things Big Rock, we have gone along and spoken to the guys from Big Rock Records.
Yes.
And they are having the first all-day Newport Music Festival.
Yes.
And it's going to be held at
Forgan Arts Centre.
Forgan Arts Centre. And I went along, Mark, I felt quite posh actually.
Did you?
Yes. I was invited along to the
Were you
press
shoes?
launch. Yes, the press launch. I went along there and we spoke to Jen from the Arts Centre and we spoke to Kevin, Chris and Benny, and they told us all about the festival that they're having. Now, it's called a funny name, so I've got it written down here, Lughnasadh. The Lughnasadh Festival, and you can get tickets for that now, and I think they're selling quite fast, and they have done quite a good thing because you can get like unwaged tickets and you can get family tickets, it's really good. So we had a wee chat to the guys, so I reckon we should just go over to the Forgan Arts Centre now and have a listen to what they've got to say.
Brilliant.
Yeah, here we go. And yes, and there we are. Okay, and here we are actually in the gardens at the back of Forgan Arts Centre on an absolutely beautiful day. And we're with the Big Rock guys and we're with Jen, who is running the Forgan Arts Centre. And in just a couple of 3 weeks' time, this whole space is going to be filled with Newport's possibly first all-day music festival. And we have Kevin here and we've got Jen, Chris and Benny. So that's thanks very much. And we're going to have a wee chat. So, well, you're the Big Rock guy. So, Kevin, I'll come to yourself first there. I mean, you've been warming up maybe for a couple of years. You've been doing fantastic gigs in the Rio, bringing fantastic bands to Newport. So what spurred you on to start the first Newport Music Festival?
Well, we've just been, I guess, going from strength to strength. And so we've had a few conversations about doing something a bit bigger. And we were lucky enough to be asked by Jen from Forgan to help curate a bit of a music festival here in these beautiful grounds here at Forgan.
Yeah, fantastic. And give us a couple of names of who we're going to enjoy when it comes up. And it's give us a date. It's the
Saturday, the 3rd
of August. Yeah, tickets available.
Yeah, on sale now. So we've got Hamish Hawke, who is he's a rising star of the Scottish music scene. Well, he's actually quite established now.
Sold out the Barrowlands, I understand.
Sold out the Barrowlands. Just completed the European tour. So he's just been to Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam, and now he's hitting the high spots of Newport.
Paris, Amsterdam, Newport-on-Tay.
Yeah,
I think that sounds fantastic. Absolutely, as it should be. Well, look, we're looking forward to that. We'll turn to you, Jen. So, Jen, the Forgan Arts Centre is a big part of Newport-on-Tay and has been for a long time, but you've reasonably recently moved to this larger venue, and this is obviously a brand new thing. Is this the sort of thing you're wanting to encourage people to use the centre and bring in some music and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of everything that we do is about artist and art form development, and we may have started kind of working primarily in kind of more traditional art and craft, but slowly our programme, since the move to the Lang home estate here, has started to expand into performance, dance. We've got dance artist in residence at the moment, actually. Food, horticulture, and now live music as well.
And what a great opportunity to come along in August to the festival. Obviously, you can have a look at the grounds and all the rest of it and see what's going on here as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to give the people what they want. When we undertook our community consultation, which wrapped up in January 2024, this is what people asked for. They wanted live music, they wanted festivals, they wanted parties, they wanted fun things to be happening in an accessible way in their back garden. And we sort of see this bit of the grounds of Forgan Arts Centre as everyone's back garden.
As Newport's back garden.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fantastic name for it. And well, all the best for that. And come and have a look at what else is going on in the Forgan Arts Centre, because, we want you to use it. Guys, what are you going to be doing on the day?
Worrying, mainly. This is quite a big leap for us. We've had a wonderful year and a half at the Rio Community Centre. They've been great hosts for us. We have always such a great atmosphere. When we've had bands on like Broken Chanter, Constant Follower, James Yorkston coming up from the East Nuke. A variety of different sounds, and always great audience for those. But this is a much bigger space. And we've got bigger acts. And
it's family oriented, isn't it? So it's for families to come along. Everybody can come along. There's other activities other than bands, I understand. Is that right?
Well, that's up to Jen.
Jen, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we try and make sure all of the events here are for people of all ages.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that just in our pottery classes. We have, I think the youngest person in that class is 14 and the oldest person, I won't name and shame, but he's 87.
Oh, wow.
So there's a really broad range of people
Yeah.
in terms of age and ability who use the centre, and that same ethos is being applied to the festival. So there will definitely be activities to entertain even the youngest. And we have a curator called Hanifa Shobanmu who's curating that programme of activities.
Right, fantastic. Have I mentioned, what is it called? How do you say the festival?
So it's called Lughnasadh.
Yep.
And that marks one of the pagan festivals. It's kind of, I guess, a time of year where the first harvest of the summer would come along.
Yeah.
So that's been the idea of Jen and the team at Forgan here.
Yeah.
It's really important, I think.
I think it
we
fits
try
in
and
with the venue as well, doesn't it? Because you have the
Yeah.
fire festival. And Benny, I hear, apart from obviously when you do gigs in the Rio with Big Rock Records, you're in and out. This involves catering. This involves toilets, portable toilets, and stuff like that. Has that put a bit of pressure on you guys?
Much bigger operation, but we're all very excited about it, though. I mean, we've had this wonderful. But kind of smallish operation at the Rio, and I would just like mention the names of Fergus and Neil. And Ailsa as well, none of whom can be here today, but they're all like spearheading this and brought us
and
all
doing
in
it. Well, guys,
ways.
I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I actually can't wait. Now, I do say tickets are on sale, but they are going pretty fast, so get in them. You can check Newport-on-Tay News. We'll give you a link to the things, or you can obviously just follow Big Rock Records and about this and all the future things. Like, do you want to add anything, guys? Are you okay with that?
I think the last thing to say is that there's a range of tickets available. So there's like a family ticket, there's a kind of pay what you can ticket, there's free tickets for under 3s and £10 tickets for under 16s. So we're doing our best to try and keep the tickets as accessible as possible.
So it is for the people, which is fantastic, and Newport-on-Tay News and our podcasts are all for the people. So.
Yeah, and the penultimate thing to say is that, with Big Rock, I mean, we're passionate about music, and there's a lot of great music in Scotland. And we try and find acts that appeal to us, but also think are creative, talented people who can also reach out to a kind of wider audience than, perhaps they might kind of expect to. Yeah. And, we found that in the Rio. And we hope to do that. Hamish Hawke is quite anthemic. Walt Disco should be, that's quite a party kind of show.
Great
so it should be able to appeal to people of all ages.
Yeah, so all ages. Did you want to add something there, second?
I was just going to give a very last mention to our pals, the Funky Gunners, who are doing some DJ sets as part of the lineup as well. So they're a collective of DJs that run out of Broughty Ferry and come across especially for the day. So we shout out to them as well.
We shout out to them. So that's everything catered for. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to stand here when it's full of life during the festival. Give us a date again, guys.
Saturday the 3rd of August.
Saturday the 3rd of August. Get your tickets. Thank you very much for all speaking to me. Good luck with the festival and all future gigs.
Thanks, Simon.
Forgan Arts Centre. Take care.
Thank you,
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
So there we go, Mark. Interesting interview.
Yes, definitely. Of course,
and it's good stuff coming to Newport, isn't it? I mean, it all is brilliant. And I think there's
interesting things.
Yeah, and I think there's lots more goes on obviously up at the Forgan Arts, so you can check it all out. And
it's amazing up there.
You played there, did you know? The other week? Yeah.
It's a beautiful building. The grounds are beautiful, but the actual
lovely ground. Lovely ground.
The interior's sumptuous.
Well, you can go and see for yourselves. So thanks to Jen, Kevin, Chris and Benny for speaking to us. And of course our regular feature, which we missed out the last time, our Hidden Histories.
Oh yes.
This week, Mark, in this book.
Part. No, I don't.
Is it your favourite part?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, some not as good as other times.
And other times I like other parts.
So if it's your favourite part, let us know. Okay, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to hear about Robert Burns and when he came to Newport and got a case of writer's block. Here we go. It's time for another Hidden History from Newport-on-Tay. So Mark, chapter 4 of this book from Hidden Histories, and it's written in quite a way here, so I'll probably paraphrase it, but this is the story of Robert Burns, very famous, obviously, the bard, as they call him. And in this book, it was a dark night in November when Robert Burns arrived in Newport, a small, very less populated place than it is now. and he'd booked accommodation in a local house run by the unofficial mayor of Newport at the time. Burns had travelled all over Scotland and written many poems, as we all know, about various places he's visited. But until recently, no one had known of his visit to Newport. And it came about one of his good friends recommended that he visit the Big Rock. So this is obviously way back in time, isn't it? In the 1700s, when Burns was hanging around, many writers, artists and philanthropists had actually begun to visit the phenomenon, which is the Big Rock. And for some time in the 700s, as tourism for the wealthy was beginning to increase, and with the introduction of primitive roads and paths, enabling them to travel further than in previous time.
Primitive path.
Yeah, I think a primitive path. I think there's still a couple of primitive paths in Newport. Many of them hoping that the bard would be able to come along to Newport, though, and immortalise the rock for future generations to enjoy. So Burns took the challenge, and I don't think he thought anything of it, according to this here. He spent his first night drinking with some local dignitaries and enjoying their company, and he was looking forward to his visit to the Big Rock the next day. So he had a bit of a sleep, and the following morning Burns visited the Big Rock, and he climbed down the braes, and it is said that when he first caught sight of the rock, there was a loud call of "Och my!"
No.
Yes, Burns rang. Help my boat. That would have been, it rang round the village, which it certainly was a village at that time because it was somewhat less populated. But this could be heard all around Newport as Burns cried out at the awe of the sight of the Big Rock. And he sort of pottered about for a few hours. He sat by the Big Rock and he pulled out his fountain pen and thought, right, here we go. Only, according to this book, there was a bit of a problem. And for the first time in his life, Burns, the famous Bard of Scotland, Robert Burns, famous worldwide, came across a case of writer's block. And he could feel the poetry coming out of the Big Rock. But as much as he tried, he was unable to sort of put it in a form of words that he was normally able to do. And one witness, apparently an onlooker, saw Burns throwing pieces of parchment paper into the Tay as his frustration at not being able to encapsulate the rock in poetic form. And eventually he could be seen climbing back up the braes in frustration at the day's events. He just wasn't able to do it.
It's quite a hard thing to articulate, isn't it?
I think it is. Well, we've done all right. So, but yeah, it is a hard thing. And I think, Burns was pretty depressed at this because he'd never been in that position before. But he did say he was just caught in the awesomeness of the moment and couldn't quite capture it, but he did do a little bit. And we're going to get onto that because we're going to give you that. And he could be seen. He climbed up the blaze. He went back to the local hostelry to forget his problem, and he had some drinks. Some of the men and women there explaining to anyone who was there how he had come to Newport to write about the Big Rock, but the sheer natural beauty of it just overtook him, and he could not write anything past the opening line of his poem.
Right.
And he was quoted in this Hidden Histories book as standing after a few too many to the gathered crowd, and that he had never been so stunned by a thing of beauty that he could neither write about it or sleep with it. He then left the company of the drinkers with a local lady and left Newport the next day, and he was somewhat embarrassed by the events of the night before. And the only evidence of his writing that day, he left with the lady he left the pub with. Yeah, and also 9 months later he left her with a son that was born. So he did sire a child in Newport. And although rumours were abound that the bard had sired the son while in Newport, nothing was ever proven, and the lady never told anybody, never confirmed this, at that time. But what he did leave her with was this unfinished poem that he'd written, and she kept it in her purse for the rest of her life, which is quite amazing. And this was published in this book. So would you like to hear the only lines that Robert Burns said about Newport-on-Tay?
My goodness, yes.
This is a world exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. We've been in touch with the Burns Society. They're going to have a look at it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
The Big Rock stands proud on the Tay. And that's it.
Right?
That's all he managed to do. So that, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I mean, well, he could, he summed it up actually.
Yeah.
That is another hidden history from Newport-on-Tay. It's time for another hidden history from Newport-on-Tay. It's just amazing, Mark, who has visited Newport-on-Tay that we don't know about.
I know.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
There we go. So that was the Robert Burns was in Newport after all. And like I said, we have a contact in the Robert Burns Society, but so far they haven't got back to us. So we'll get them to prove it. But there we are. So Mark, what do you think? I think that says about it for the week actually.
It's
flown past again. Festival time in Newport. It's not at an end. The 3rd of August, that's the next one. So we want you to get tickets to that, and we'll no doubt see you there if you're going. And so all we really left to say is we're going to have our sing-along, jam-along, big rock-along.
Yes, rock-along.
We're going to have that now, and we're going to have it in a second anyway.
See if you can pick out your emails and Simon's lovely singing.
Exactly. My lovely singing. Thank you, Mark. That's it. But we're going to mention you in the things that you've done on the Big Rock. We've added into the Big Rock sing along, okay? And we would love you to sing along, and we'd like to think you're in the car or in the bath or wherever you are, sing along to this. And if you want to add a verse onto it, then be our guests and send it in. And do send in your emails to Newport-on-Tay at Newport-on-TayTV@gmail.com. Do that, or visit the webpage, whatever you want to do, or you can holler either of us in the street. If you want to, we can do it. Well, I enjoy that anyway. Do you enjoy that, Mark?
It depends on the mood.
Depends on your mood. Okay.
I'm always happy to see anybody anytime.
But I'm normally all right, so yeah, you're fine. And we'll join you next time. But do continue to write in. We're going to do some history specials, Mark, coming up, but we're going to do some stuff in the shops. We've got loads to do. There's just tons to do. But endless Newport stuff. But if you have an idea, or even if you want to appear, whatever you want, write in, because we want you, we welcome you. Please do. Newport-on-TayTV@gmail.com. Got it right that time. And we're going to sing with the sing-alonger, bigger rocker, sing-alonger.
Big sucker, rocker.
Are you ready, Mark?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. And sing along. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. And you know what? Sing along. We're going down the big rock, going down the big rock.
Big rock and roll now.
Going down the big rock, going down the big rock.
Big rock and roll now.
We're swimming into big rock, swimming into big rock.
Big rock and roll now.
Stranded on the big rock, stranded on the big rock.
Skimmy rock and roll now.
Leaping off the big rock, leaping off the big rock.
Skimmy rock and roll now.
Rescue from the big rock, rescue from the big rock.
Skimmy rock and roll now.
We're climbing on the big rock, on the big rock.
Big rock and roll now.
Fishing off the big rock, off the big rock.
Big rock and roll now.
Climbing up the big rock, climbing up the big rock.
Kissed by the Tay.
Climbing up the big rock, climbing up the big rock.
Kissed by the Tay.
Fishing up the big rock, climbing up the big rock. Rescue up the big rock.
Kissed by the Tay.
Big rock, small rock, cardboard rock. Break it down, Mark.
Skimmy rock and roll now.
Swimming on the big rock, on the big rock,
Skimmy
on
rock
the
and
big
roll now.
rock.
Skimmy rock and roll now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in for us today. Mark's going to play us out. Join us the next time. We love that you listen to us. Do email us. Let us know what you think of the podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye, Mark. See you later.